In part 6, I'd like to talk about chord and non-chord tones, tension and calm, or sometimes they call it tension and release. What that means is music is made up of a flow between tension, dissonance, and consonance, calm. I'll show you an example on the piano. C chord, right? C, E, G. If I write a song with those notes, like nursery rhymes or adventure movies, if, let's say, oh, that's a perfect example. Let's say Star Wars, you're writing an adventure movie for Superman or anybody, you want strong notes. So it would be notes in the chord, notes in the chord, and a couple of notes in between to connect them, like almost like you were connecting the dots. So let's say I have a C chord. So the first note is calm, right? Second note, listen to the second note. It has tension, it has color, because it's not in the chord. So it resolves down. The third is in the chord. They say first, third, and fifth of the chord. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth, very strong. Let's say I do this. See, now that's the fourth. That's, hear it? There's a lot of tension. So if I were to connect the fifth to the third with the fourth, that's fine, that's fine. But if you emphasize it, then you have the dissonance. I think a great example is in the song from the movie Titanic. James Horner, wonderful composer. The beginning of the song, he only has a couple of notes, right? But then he does this. It's a chord tone, but listen to this now. Hear that? That note is not in this chord. Feel the tension, feel the color. Now what does he do? He resolves it down. So we get, now listen. To me, there's music. It's that flow between tension and calm. In this song, you see that high point? It comes about 2/3 of the way through. In music, in mathematics, in nature, there's something called the golden section, which means at about 2/3 through a piece, you want something to happen, something to grab the listener. In math, in nature, you want something about, that's called the golden section. In jazz musicians, there's been thousands of books written on how to improvise. There's so many videos on the internet how to play jazz, but it boils down to what Miles Davis said. You could play anything as long as you resolve it. So what he's saying, he's basically saying, if you have tension, go to resolution. And he always said silence. Wrap the music around the silence. The silence is just as important as the notes. These are really insightful things he said, because if you're an improviser in blues or jazz or whatever, you want, now the blues players, they're using basically one scale. So they're not going too much in and out like a jazz player would, like a jazz player might do that. He might do that, where a blues player is going to stay mostly with the scale. So how do they create tension? They bend notes, they go real fast, then they go very lyrical. They move between all these different things, between speed and lyricism, between bending notes, the way the blues singers bend notes. So all these things do one thing. It creates the flow of music.